back to a new episode of Fearless Power Podcast, where we meet with successful salon owners. And today we are honored to have Alyssa from Pretty Moon Salon. Welcome, Alyssa.
Hi, thank you.
Are you excited?
I am very excited.
We're going to just talk about each other for a little bit, how we met and how we stayed close as friends. Mm-hmm. And now we both run our salons and we're constantly talking to each other, not often, but
help.
If we're going through something, we always have that friend, which is so important. When you own a salon, to have a friend to talk to, when you don't have a manager and things like that.
Right.
So tell us about your salon. Where are you located, and what's your salon like?
So our salon is called Pretty Moon Salon and Vintage Shop. We are in Verona, New Jersey. We love our location. It's a very towny kind of location. We have lots of moms and their daughters coming in. They love the shopping. They love having that little,
Tell us about, I know you're on Main Street. She has parking, which is great because it's really hard to get salons in Verona that has parking, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. How long have you been in business for?
We've been there for 5 years, and I started out there by myself. During COVID, I had left my solo suite and was in search of a new salon home. And I was looking. I was looking in Montclair. I was looking in that area. And then one day I was driving to get lunch and I see this big for rent sign, and I just got this really amazing feeling. I pulled over, I jumped out of my car, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. I peeked in the window, called the number on the window, and that was pretty much it. I signed the lease.
But there's a backstory to that.
Yes, there is.
Because your father had a business there that you didn't know, right?
Well, he was friends with the previous owner, who it used to be like a card game, illegal card game kind of place. And it was like a very fun. So I wanted a place that felt fun and there was a really good energy, and I definitely felt that there. And I loved that there was that connection. I remember going home and being like, Dad, I found the place. And he's like, oh my God, I used to hang out with my friends there, and play cards there. And that's actually where he found his first cat with my mom. Yeah. So there's a lot of
there's a
cool
little bit of history there, right? And I know Alyssa and I, we actually go way back. I always say I've been doing it for 10 years, but I think it's a little past that at this point.
Yes.
But I think we stayed at 10 all the time. But we actually met in the beginning of my career when I was learning how to wash hair, cut, blowout. So she was my mentor too. At some point in my life, and now we're friends and kind of own salons together. So it's pretty fun to watch how much we grew throughout the years. But Alyssa and I, Alyssa worked at a salon for, how long were you there for?
I was there for 15, 16 years.
16 years, and then she decided to open up a suite, right?
Yes,
and then we actually became neighbors at that point.
Well, actually, I remember me and you chatting when we were assistants and just talking about hair stuff, and you had said to me that you were very passionate about maybe owning something one day, and I was like, me too, and it was always kind of our dream, and that's how we connected. And I remember when you went to open your suite, I was so inspired by that, and I was like, how did she have the
balls?
Or the strength and the courage, and that was really inspiring to me to see you do that.
And then we became neighbors, and we were in Wayne, Sola, and that's when Pretty Moon, that's when you came up with the name.
Yes.
And coming out of the Sola, what was suite space? What made you look for a salon space? Was it not big enough? Did you outgrow? What?
Yeah, that's exactly really what it was for me. I really missed working with people. I mean, I know that, when we weren't doing hair, we would go in the hallway and chat, whatever, but I really missed the community environment of being able to hey, can you help me with this formula, or what do you think about this color? And I love people, and I love connecting with people and working with people, and I missed that. And I also I'm also a nature person, and I feel like I needed a window and I wanted to see outside, and it just felt very claustrophobic for me. I mean, I'm very grateful that I got to do that. I learned a lot about how to run my business, and it's like stepping stones. So doing that was great.
And then to start now your salon, how many chairs do you have? And then also Alyssa actually has a very interesting concept because she is a commission and hybrid salon. So she's running 2 different businesses in her space. So talk to us about what made you choose 2 different types of, systems in one salon.
So originally when we started out, it was just the one level, and then
How many chairs did you?
So
do you
we
have?
had
Was it
we
6?
started out with 3, then we
3.
added 2 more, so that's 5, and then all 5 chairs were filled. And one day we were all working, and I said, "Oh my God, we're like eating and mixing color in the same room, and we're on top of each other, and it's hot." And I said, "I really need more space." And I just kind of said it out loud and was like, "You know what? The right space will come to us if we have to move." And then all of a sudden, the upstairs became available to us, and we didn't know there was a door behind one of the walls. And my dad does construction, so he was like, "All we have to do is knock the wall down, and then there's the door." So we called it like the Pretty Moon staircase.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And we just recently in December expanded into the 2nd and 3rd floor. So now we have a whole area just designated for chair rental, also commission if, that's what someone's looking for. We have a 3rd floor loft for shopping, and it's like a little hangout area. So it kind of just like evolved on its own very naturally.
Right.
It was like I had the thought, I had the vision. I felt like in our industry, it's changing so much with suites and people being viewed more as independent contractors. And I wanted to embrace that concept and that idea. Because I feel like as artists, we are all individuals, we're all unique, and our clients choose us for that uniqueness.
Yes.
And I'm a big person with empowering that. Like, I think that's really important.
So then I guess it's safe to say that you have a culture, but people can be themselves. There's like, we talked about this like before we started the podcast, because it's like most salons, I also don't have a dress code, but like dress apart, dress to like sell yourself. You're doing clients, you don't want to come in and not look great. So do you have a standard for hybrid stylists that come in for what they look like, how they're walking in?
I think from the very beginning when I interview someone, I make that part very clear. I say that, it's very important to us that as a salon, that we put our clients first. You are professional, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress. But at the same time, I want you to fully be who you are. Like, if you have a certain style, embrace that. If you want to specialize in something or have a niche service that you want to I fully feel that is very important. Yeah,
that's awesome. This is a very interesting question, but I feel like I'm going to ask all my friends and my people that own salons, because I feel like we can all get stuck sometimes in that. And how do you align your commission stylist to want to grow versus them being forced to grow? How do you keep that culture aligned with where you see your vision, but you also want them to grow with you instead of...
I think that we're in a very unique industry where you could work under I don't know what the word is, like an umbrella, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's important to realize as a hairstylist or an artist that you are your own individual person, and that you have to hold yourself accountable for how successful you're going to be.
Yes.
And how you want your business to be behind the chair.
Yes.
So there's certain things that you want to align with the actual salon, but then a huge part of it is really up to you.
Right.
It's the type of clientele you want to work with every day, how you want to feel behind the chair. I feel like for me personally, I have to, as a leader, show them that. And I think I'm very lucky and blessed to have clients that every single one of my clients, when they come in, we're laughing, we're crying together, we're
you
having
have that connection with your
And it's not just how long I've been doing hair, that's how I wanted to feel when I came to work.
Right.
And so I feel like you align and you attract those type of clients by really being who you are and being yourself. So that's why I always encourage stylists, when they start working with us, be yourself. Don't try to make up a version of you that isn't real.
Right.
It's, because everyone's always talking about build a brand. your brand is
It's just
who
yourself.
It's
It's
just
who you are.
You are.
Yes.
Just be you, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And once you start doing that, it's kind of like false advertisement if you're not being.
I 100% agree, and I think especially with social media now, everybody that's just such a repetitive post.
Right.
What's your brand? Build your brand.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, be yourself.
Yeah.
That's gonna be your brand. That's how you're gonna attract people
It's like
that
that.
relates to
It might
you.
be corny to say this, but it's like that saying, like, there's no other you, and that's your superpower.
Yes.
But it's
I
so
love that.
true because
Yeah.
we all have a very unique story, upbringing, life, experiences, all of that stuff. And it's like,
Absolutely.
another funny thing is, like, I remember hearing Eminem say that, not to like bring up Eminem.
Eminem is great. Love Eminem.
Well, he's a very successful rapper, and
But he's not liked by everybody.
right, and that's another thing.
And
Not
that's
everyone's
totally
gonna like
okay.
you, and that's
And-
fine.
and
As long as
exactly.
you like you and you
Yeah.
know that you
You
have
stand
good
for who you
intentions,
are.
you're being a good person, right? But he said, when he was trying to figure out like who he was gonna be in that world. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna be me. I'm a kid who grew up in a trailer park, and I'm gonna fully just be that and embrace that. And
I love that. And then I think, even talking about the students that are going into beauty school, or people that are in this industry right now for 3 years, they just started 3 years. We were talking about this over the phone last night, and it was like, it's like going to college. Like,
right.
You don't just graduate beauty school and then you're like, okay, now I'm going to have a successful 100K, business, and all the clients are going to walk in and they're going to, I'm just going to make money, and it's all about the befores, and it's not about that at
right.
all. There's so much that comes with just going to beauty school, and the experiences you get after beauty school.
Right.
Everything is a journey of growth, and you're going to get where you need to get as long as you are pushing yourself, and you can't stop pushing yourself.
Right, and to add
It
to
could
that,
be year 3, it could be year 10, it could
right.
be year 20. You have to constantly grow.
And to add to that, with what you were saying, I feel like a big part of it is not worrying about the money so much, because the money eventually comes. I think that when you're aligned with your higher purpose and your passions, and you're doing what you love every day, that's how you
100%.
build yourself. And then you have to invest in yourself for other people to want to invest in you. And if you're doing that, then you're on the right track, and then everything else just kind of falls into place.
I think that people have a misconception right now, because social media shows so much. It's like, make this much money. Stylists that are charging $7,000, $4,000, $800, whatever it is, right? People have this conception that we can make all this money, but for you to charge a certain amount, you have to gain knowledge, you have to gain experiences, right. And you have to feel good and confident about your work.
Well, you
right?
have to be happy too.
You have to be happy.
It's a fine line of course, we all need to make money to take care of ourselves, take care of our families. But for me, and it's different for everyone, success is different for everyone. But for me, being happy is the most important thing to me. And I always talk to my girls about that, and my co-artists, like, what is your idea of success? What do you want? And then we try to sit down and talk about it and break down how we can help them get there.
And that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. What's something that you do in your business that you find that works? That you have to give, if you have to give advice to anybody that's looking to open in their salon space with more than one person, or I think 1+ employees, what would you say? Advice-wise, one thing that you do with your stylist that works.
I feel like as I started having more and more people joining the team, I realized that, and I have a 3-year-old at home, so I was a little absent, and I felt like, okay, I need to be there a little more, for them, as So we started doing self-assessments, one-on-one, questions that people would be asking themselves, so that they could be better. And it's again, holding themselves accountable, and so they could just look in the mirror and be like, hey, you know what, I could be doing this a little bit better, or I could be doing this. And I think working on yourself is the most important thing in this industry.
I know for us, Ella Vida, we do monthly meetings, and that's something that we really took off this year, because the more people you have, you're going to work with people every day, but not every day is going to be the main focus of certain things.
Right.
So the once a month meeting is so important.
So important.
And I also do one-on-one I would say like between 3 months and under. Like I do a big one in January, which is like vision board.
Yeah.
Here's your markers.
Well,
here's
that's
your
another thing I
billboard.
was going to say.
Like,
As long as you
create a
keep
vision
it
board.
fun
Yeah.
and positive, and the purpose of the meeting is to connect and
Yes.
to, everybody speak and everyone talk about their ideas. Or I'm really big on like collaboration
Yeah.
and including everyone's thoughts and visions, because that's how you build a team.
Yes.
It's not just, oh, this is what I want for the team.
And back to your point, because you have the hybrid and the commission salon style, people are growing in different levels at all times, right? You can be a baby stylist, you can be an assistant, you can be someone that's been doing that for years. People have different goals and different
Everyone's at a
expectations of their
different
week.
level, right.
So I feel like the meetings, even when you do the one-on-one, you kind of align with your employees a little bit better. You
100%.
kind of get to see where they're coming from. And as owners, you can always improve.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always something that I take on as with my heart. And I'm like, okay, what can I do to improve it? And it could be minor things. It could be the snack we're carrying.
Right.
It could be, hey, get this for this season. And I'm all about like communication, so we can keep the salon in a positive atmosphere.
Yeah, and the
they
girls
want to be heard.
Yeah, the girls know this about me. Like, I'm always constantly thinking of cool things we can do for the clients. Like, for the holidays coming up, we're doing like a make your own hot cocoa bar. And it's like every day I'm like bringing more stuff. And because I think that it's about, showing our clients that like we appreciate them, we are nothing without them, we value them, and having fun while we're there together.
Yes.
And also, as the owner, I want the girls to always know that I have their back. I'm always thinking of ways that I can support them, and sometimes you have to put yourself on the back burner.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that just happens when you, are the leader.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's
to your business. Give me 3 words that describes Pretty Moon. And what is Pretty Moon about? Why did you name Pretty Moon? First off, I love the name. It's very unique, and I don't feel like there's no one with like a similar name. So if you hear Pretty Moon, you already know it's in Verona.
Well, the name is very emotional for me, so if I start to cry, sorry.
She's already crying.
I know, I was crying before.
I'm not laughing. She was
So
already
I was very, very, very close. Well, I had a lot. I'm very lucky that I was surrounded by a lot of very strong women. Let me just start off by saying that. But one specifically was my grandmother, who she raised 6 kids by herself. And she always taught me to care about other people. And we were always doing charity, and she was always helping other people, and we were always doing things with like, the community. And she was always the one to empower me and build up my confidence in myself. And she would always, she would get her hair done at the JCPenney salon, and she'd be like, my granddaughter is going to become a hairdresser one day, and she's going to own her own salon. And she would constantly say that to me, and never give up, always believe in yourself. And she instilled that in me.
Yeah.
And I always felt like, fast forward, then I felt like going into the beauty world, I saw that a lot of people didn't have that. And so I felt like I wanted people to know that too. So I would always be like taking people under my wing and being like, you can do it, girl. And like, I also think as women, we should empower each other a lot more than, but back to the name, my grandma always used to say, if we're not together, or if I don't see you, always look at the moon. And she had this thing with the moon. So when I was thinking of a name, I wanted it to be something that I felt I was connecting with her, and she passed away, and I feel like I still always get little signs from her every now and then that she's here and she's watching and she knows, and it's
that's how
maybe
the
a
name
little
came
weird,
about.
but that's just
So
me.
what's 3 words that describes Pretty Moon then? Give me 3 words.
3 words. I would say inclusivity. I would say community, and I would say unique.
Yes.
Because I'm the type of person that if everyone's going left, I'm going right.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what? Everyone's going over there. I want to see what's over here.
Yeah.
So I like to do things a little different. I like change. I like to go with the flow. And I am a big believer in, if you want something, you have to just believe it, trust, and like let it go.
And work towards it.
Yes, and just work towards it. Have goals. I have notebooks. I'm constantly. I wake up in the middle of the night. and I'm like, oh, I gotta write this down before I forget.
And
Because,
these
you know, when you're a mom, you forget
things,
everything.
and these are the things that, you know, we talked about. It's like how to build your salon to be successful. As an owner, you're never stop working.
Yeah.
Like, you can say you're behind the job 3 days a week, 4 days a week, but you're still working 24/7 because you have to look up after your building, your clients, the employees that work there. You're constantly checking in.
I check the cameras in the middle of the
Yeah.
night. I'm like, is it on fire? I'm like, oh my God forbid.
But we're always going.
Yes.
24/7. I love that.
But I think that shows like you have something that you worked so hard for. And also, I also want to say that when you have people choose to work for you, it is so like humbling, and it's so like, I'm so grateful to the girls every day that I'm like, wow, you guys chose this place.
Right.
You chose me.
Right.
And I'm very grateful for that. And I never ever.
And sometimes
always
I
think
feel
about
like people could take it for granted, you know, like
100%.
and I just always to bring it back to that humble state
It's
of
yin
why
and
we
yang.
started.
It
why
goes
we
both ways.
started, why do we want people to work for us, and what was the culture you're trying to build? Because there's room for everyone in this industry. You're gonna find your salon home. Like you just have to, you know, that's another question. Like, what if somebody's looking for a new salon home? What makes them choose you versus another salon? You know, what culture are you providing to?
Well, that's the thing. Everyone's different. Some
Right.
people are looking for guidance. Some people are looking for mentorship. Some people are looking to build. Some people are looking for a place to just, hey, I just want a space to do my clients and go home.
Yeah.
And I love that we've created a space that you have that flexibility for, okay, you know, like I have options. There's room for growth. There's room for, like, it's, to me, it's endless opportunity. If you want to have an event, you can use the space. If you want to do education, you can teach a class. I just love that, you know, because at some point in my career, I did feel, and it's no one's fault, it's just we grow. And I felt like a bird in a cage. And it was time for me to be free and to start my own thing. And this was always my goal, and this was always my dream, was to have a space where people could really be themselves, and that there was always room for growth.
Yeah. And it's something that it stays with me too, because like when I first started assisting, I knew I wanted to own something. I just didn't know when, how. I was just going with the experiences and like the growth I was having. And then
it's just like riding the wave.
And then
right?
it happens, right? And then you're like, now you're there, and then you're here, and then what's next, right?
Right.
You don't know. It's the unknown. It's, you know. So what would you tell anyone coming out of beauty school that maybe have these big dreams that want, you know, and not everyone, and I know we talk about, and I'm talking to a lot of salon owners for the next few episodes, but not everyone is looking to open a salon.
Right.
Not everyone is looking for, you know, that ownership, that responsibility. I know that I already had stylists say I never want to own a salon because it's a constant work. So not
But you
everyone
have to have that
wants
type of
responsibility.
personality where you, like, everyone knows this about me. I can't sit still.
Yes. So it's not for everyone, but what would you say, what's your biggest advice for someone either coming out of beauty school fresh, still with so much to learn, or someone that's feeling stuck right now and feeling like they're stuck in a salon that they don't like?
I think my biggest advice would be, again, back to like you.
Yeah.
It's always about you. And I think working on yourself, and it's not just learning your craft. It's not being the best hairdresser. It's not being the best hair cutter and being the best colors. I mean, of course, that's important. But I think your clients, again, choose you for you and who you are. So I think a lot of people don't know who they are. So I always encourage people to go on a retreat or meditate or, you know, journal or just write down things that you love or things that you want, and like really get to know yourself and work on you, because your clients at the end of the day are going to choose to be sitting in your chair, talking to you, building a relationship with you. They're with you like every 2-3 weeks. And you know, it's the client's choice to be like, I want to keep going back to her. I want to keep going back to her.
Right, because they build that bond.
Yeah,
and it's not
like,
just the bond, it's also the work. Right. So it's
right, and that's what's tough. It's both.
It's both, because you can be the best hairstylist, you can like make like the best highlight ever, like the most beautiful work on social media, but if you have no personality,
Yeah.
people will not come back to
Well,
you.
also it's not
Or-
sustainable. It's
it's
like
not-
they might come to you for a little
Once.
while, but then be like, you know what? I
Yeah.
don't like the way this person makes me feel when I'm
Yes.
in their chair.
Yes.
She's always negative, or she's always complaining, or whatever. Like,
Yeah, I would say, now in this point in my life, I don't want discounts. I don't want deals. I want to go somewhere that I know I'm going to be well taken care of.
Right.
And that I'm going to walk out with the results that I want.
well, I
So-
had this thought too, not to cut you off,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
before I forget.
Yeah.
It's like trying to sell a product,
Yeah.
right? Like if you don't believe in this product and
Right.
what it does and
Right.
what it's going to do for you, you can't sell it. And it's kind of like that's your relationship with yourself. You have
Yes.
to know who you are, what your morals are, what your values are, what you stand for, what you want in order for people to like want to choose you as
Yeah.
their stylist.
Yes,
And then
100%.
that's how you build those long-lasting.
Relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm not going to say it's easier to gain a client. I think it's harder to keep a client.
Mhm.
So if you've been
Communication
in business,
is
you've been in
key, too.
business for how long? How long have you been doing hair? 16
I'm
years. you
doing
said?
hair 20 years.
20 years now. So
Yeah.
like, I'm sure you still have clients from when you first started, and they're still with you for 20 years later.
It's so funny because like just me personally, when I go to work, I don't feel like I'm at work.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm with my friends. I feel like I'm with my family, and that is so amazing to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm so grateful that this is my
Yeah.
job and this is my
Yeah.
career.
It's such a good feeling to have clients that's been with you from the
Uh-huh.
beginning, that when you were charging $40 a haircut and now you're charging, $7,000, they're still with you.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, it's so special to like have that
It is,
relationship.
it is.
But in the end of the day, they're still getting a service. So I feel like sometimes people get caught, in like too much of a like giving the relationship effect,
Yeah.
and then the work lack, or the work is really good.
Well,
and then
that's
the relationship
again what
lack.
makes
It's at
our
50-50.
relationship, our career so different
Yeah.
from other jobs, I feel, is because we build these like relationships with our clients, but at the end of the day, it's still a business
Still
transaction.
a business transaction.
So it's
yes.
like that fine line and that balance of like, yes, I love you, but
Right.
this is how much it costs.
Right.
So
Right. And then, and I think owning a salon, you see people coming and going.
Yep.
You see some of your stylists that had that client that no longer have.
Mhm.
And I always tell the girls, like, oh, I haven't seen this person, I haven't seen that person. I was like, guys, people will leave.
Yeah.
But if they really love your work, they will come back.
Yeah.
There's nothing
I don't
wrong.
think you have to worry about that.
There's nothing wrong when
Yeah.
a client leaves. It might, maybe you didn't do anything wrong. Maybe the budget changed for the season.
Some people just
Maybe-
like change too.
Maybe some people wanted a different look or a different change, and then when someone else, it doesn't mean you are not doing well behind the chair. It's just there's clients for everyone, and there's seasons for everyone.
I feel strongly too that there's moments as a salon owner where you do have to have control, but something like that, you can't.
Right.
You cannot control how a person feels, where they want to invest their time and their money. That's up to them.
You can't, but
So
you have-
that's like being very like.
But it's part
whatever
of
you wanna do.
but it's part of showing up and being the best self, your best self.
Right, and
that's
knowing
when we
that,
go
like
right back
what you
into
said
that
before,
circle.
sometimes it's not anything that you did. It's just
Yes.
the nature of the business.
So now I'm going to ask you a couple of fun questions, and then we're
boy.
going to wrap it up. What is your coffee order in a really busy time?
I am so boring. That is not a great question to ask me.
Do you drink coffee? You do?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
get iced.
That's every day. You don't change the season. You're like, what is it? What's
I
your
don't
coffee
like
order?
sweet stuff.
Okay.
So I don't. It's just
So what's your coffee
black,
order?
black
Just-
with cream.
That's it. No sugar?
No.
I'll see. I need my sugar.
Sometimes just black.
Yeah.
I'm boring.
Listen, this is good. It keeps you going because there's no
caffeine.
additive.
The caffeine and the no sleep. No, I'm just kidding.
Before we wrap it up, do you feel that a hairstylist career is a good path?
I do. I do think choosing to become a hairdresser is a great career path. I think you can become very successful. I think it's very important, though, to always remember you have to take care of yourself. I feel that that wasn't something that was stressed enough to me. And being a person, I think most people that go into hairdressing are givers usually, because it's like an addicting feeling
So
of
true.
like doing someone's hair, and
So
they're
true.
like, oh my God, I feel so good. And it's so humbling, and it's such a rewarding feeling to like help someone feel beautiful and confident and help someone, you know, find what's gonna make them feel empowered and to walk out those doors and you helped them do that. But at the same time, when you're giving, I read something one time that said we're like gumball machines. When you run out of gumballs, you have nothing left to give. You know, putting the quarter in, nothing's coming out. So with that being said, I think it can be a very rewarding career as long as you find balance and you take care of yourself.
Love that.
So that's, you know,
and what's
go get a pedicure, go get your nails done,
Treat
go get
yourself.
your hair done,
Treat
be
yourself.
a client.
Yes.
Don't be like, can you do my hair at the end of the day?
No,
Go
be a
to
client.
a salon
Yes.
and make an appointment and get your hair done. I need to take my own advice.
Yeah.
But that's something I've learned over time. Is you cannot give.
I feel like
unless
I
you're giving
feel
to
the
yourself.
exact the same way, and I pre-book because if I don't pre-book, time just flies, and you realize you haven't done a facial or you haven't done a massage. So my
Sometimes
advice:
we don't need
pre-book
lunch.
your services.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
like I pre-book my facials and my massage walking out of the business because otherwise I know I'm gonna forget and I'm not gonna treat myself the way I'm supposed to be treating myself for the month.
Right.
Just like you said,
Right.
if you are giving, you also have to receive it to be able to give the right way.
Right.
And I love that. The
And luckily,
gumball example is great.
Isn't it
Love
great?
that.
I mean, it's true because, and luckily I work, my girls, you know, we all love and care about each other, so we check on each other all day.
Yeah.
Did you go to the bathroom? Did you eat? Go drink
Yeah.
water.
And that's when you have a healthy culture and you have people that, yes, they're working for you, but you have that connection with your employees, which
I also tell my girls too,
so good.
and this might not be traditional, but like, if you need a mental health day, take off.
Yeah.
Do not come to work if you're forcing yourself to be there and you're not mentally capable. Like,
Yeah.
I remember feeling like I wish that
Someone said that to you
Right,
once.
right.
Yeah.
Because then you get into the habit of putting yourself constantly,
Behind,
and that's not healthy and that's not good.
Well, we all, like here too at La Vida, I encourage everyone to work 4 days a week. If you want to work 5, that's fine. Sometimes you have to work 5 because you're trying to get a client in, you know, but at the end of the day, if you are burned out, it's going to show in your work. It's going to show on your client's conversation. It's going to show when you walk in through the doors, and no one wants to work with people that
and
are tired.
and
You
more
want
importantly,
that full
like,
reset.
we all know what that feels like. I wouldn't want to force that on anyone.
100%.
Like, you know, and I want to be there to support and like it's so important because we are givers. That's what we do all day long.
And tell me what is coming up for Pretty Moon 2026. We're about 6 weeks away from 2025 ends.
Yeah. Nothing is set in stone yet.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like the universe keeps giving me presents.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? We might be expanding a little bit more. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see and hear all about it.
Yeah. So excited.
It was so good to have you today, Alyssa.
Thank you for having me.
You definitely inspire us with, you know, the positivity, and I can't wait to see you next time.
And you inspire me.
Thanks. We inspire each other. Thank you so much for being part of our podcast,
Thank
Alyssa.
you for having me.
I learned so much with you today, and thank you for all your positivity. This is what the beauty industry is about. It's about being positive towards each other. It's about growing together. And I can't wait to see what you do for 2026.
Thank you. Me too.
So good seeing you, babe.
You too. Thanks for having me.